if you had a job where you come to work and people clap for you, it would change your entire mood.
We don't have any plans at the moment to do PC.
Or you can grow a conscience in the next 5 minutes and see where that takes you.
Don't this hit make my people wanna Don't this hit make my people wanna Don't this hit make my people wanna
Watch the series finale of X-Men next Saturday morning. Check your local listing.
What the hell going on?
Oh, we heard tale of a party. Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style.
There can be only one magical Negro.
Come le tiki que llama que buena baila usted a la vuelta papi otra vez llegó el negro de.
It won't take long when there's a song to help you set the pace.
Howling holler from the heart.
This is pathetic.
Where we used to live.
Life could be worse.
This is the worst.
This is the worst.
This is the worst.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal.
Ai, menina, mina, chega aí. Ai, menina, mina, chega aí. Vai, quebra, tem mais, vai. Menina, chega aí. Vai, olha, danado. Eita!
And the Disney stock just keeps going down and down and down.
I'm bag of pixie dust. Contraband.
They're going to do the Mary Poppins thing. They're going to do it. They're going to do it.
Yeah. Magic mirror on the wall. The fairest one of all.
Oh, bitch, you killed Kenny.
Kenny.
You fat hoe.
I get it. I'm not persecuted. I'm just an ass.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'm LaReina Creole, always bringing you that spice when it comes to sci-fi and pop culture analysis. And speaking of spice, welcome to the Spice Lounge, where myself and my fellow panelists, we throw around those hot takes, spicy conversation, all around what's popping in pop culture, whether it's funny, haha, or really, you went there, right? Okay, well, anyway, so much to talk about on the show. We, of course, are going to be talking about the new Fantastic Four movie, First Steps. Most of my panel has seen it, and answer the question. Actually, three questions, really. One, is it a good movie? Two, is it a good MCU movie? And three, is it better than James Gunn's Superman? Yeah, we're going to be talking about that. We're also going to be talking about Kevin Feige yet again, throwing another Black MCU actor under the bus. Yeah, we're going to be talking about that, since apparently that's what he's scapegoating the failure of Captain America Brave New World on, as if not mentioning Jonathan Major's name from Ant-Man and Quantumania as Kang was bad enough. You had to double down on that. And of course, lots of hot topics, including someone going after my girl. Well, I shouldn't say someone. I should say a gaggle of really, really hateful heifers coming after my girl, Sydney Sweeney. We're going to talk about that. So, folks, before we get started, 78 of you folks watching between YouTube and between X, we have got returning with us my favorite. Well, yeah, he's going to be my favorite because I know him from Hollywood, but he's a wonderful, wonderful friend. Kamar Pasha is joining us back on the show. How are you, my dear?
I'm one of it. It's only been a couple of days since I was on before. We just did a live thing of the Tropic Thunder, and now I'm here to talk about some of the great Hollywood stuff. It'll be fun.
Yes. It's going to be great. I'm still in stitches about that watch party, folks. If you have not seen it, we did a watch party on Saturday for Tropic Thunder, and it was absolutely insane. So if you haven't watched it, go back and be part of the replay crew and watch that, because we had a ton of fun. Tom was on that panel and Erica was on that panel as well. How you guys doing?
Doing good. Ladies
good.
first.
You're covered from Tropic Thunder watch party?
Never. I'm still trying to get in that damn goodie room.
We have a little bit of feedback. I'm hearing Tom again. I don't know. One of us may have an extra screen open.
You know what? That could be me. Oh, for once I don't. Okay.
Because there's only one I heard when Tom spoke. Tom, do you have something open?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, I was hearing your voice. That may just be my setup.
It could be StreamYard, because StreamYard likes to do stupid things.
Yeah.
Or me. I'm on a wireless system, so I don't know if maybe something.
Well, when I'm on, it's usually the NSA's tap, an error in the tap. It's like, oh, and they're like, I mean, they spend so much time tapping, and they don't get much out of it.
For a small fee, I can help you walk through that.
Yeah, you seem to have connections to Chinese spies and things. We talked about that in the back. I don't know if that's going to get me in worse trouble. So,
well, we'll keep an eye on it, because usually that happens on the dark channels. Is it you? Is it you? Is it you? Is it you? Fatal? Is it the bad internet in your mom's basement? Is it you?
You hear it now? One of my favorite moments in one of my favorite movies, and one of my favorite movies of all time is Malcolm X by Spike Lee. I mean, it's one of the greatest movies ever made, I think. And he's such a brilliant filmmaker in that throughout the entire movie, just following Malcolm, and his journey and his transformations and all that he goes through. And near the very end, when a few days before he's murdered, he's in a hotel room in New York, and he's just calling his wife Betty Shabazz, telling her how much he loves her, misses the kids, and in that moment, just for one moment in the entire movie, they instantly switch to the FBI that's been tapping him the whole time. That's been following him the whole time, right? And then they're listening to him, and then they're laughing amongst themselves, like, this guy's a monk compared to king, right? This guy's dedicated to his wife.
Remember, yeah.
And then that's all that was this brilliant moment of filmmaking. You just need this half a second flash to understand he's been tapped the whole time and been followed by intelligence agencies the whole time. You just need that one quick second of seeing them joking behind the scenes. That's great filmmaking.
That was brilliant. But what's also brilliant is you guys here in the chat. Let me run through who is here really, really quick, and then we'll start off with our usual moment of comedy before we drop it into the hot topics. I see Snorter Poop is here. I see Kimberly Ann Hart is here. Of course, Erica is here because she is on the chat. On the panel. And Thanatos is here. Keely Chow is here, another one of our amazing wrenches. Linda F is here as well. Good seeing you, my dear. Cynthia Carter is here as well. So good seeing you. Love seeing you guys. And of course, Tom F is here because he's on the panel. So we know he's here. We have got Chef Nation, who says, good afternoon, beautiful people. Well, good afternoon to you and to Little Chef. I see you holding there her little dog. She calls him Little Chef. Like from Ratatouille. He's so cute. And your low-key Sinners was a great movie. Sinners was a freaking awesome movie. It was an awesome movie. Hideo Kodi, I'm forgetting his name. Hideo Kodiyama. I think he's a video game director. He was just like, Sinners was awesome. Tom Cruise said the same thing.
Yeah, it's going to be taught in film schools. I promise you, in the very near future.
Agreed.
film schools.
Agreed.
There were some of the great classic films. This is how you can learn filmmaking.
Mm-hmm. The guy who lives in China. Good morning. Yes, definitely. Good morning. Where you are.
And we got a real dude actually in Beijing, so I got to be careful what I say about Chinese spies. I'm real careful. I got to keep him safe. He's actually there. He's a wonderful guy. He's a member of my Patreon, and he's been very active recently and coming on YouTube all the way from Beijing.
Dylan is here as well. Says, hey, Lorena, sup, chat? Hey, Dylan. We've got Nita here as well, who says, hi, everyone. Good seeing you, Nita. And I'm not even going to attempt to try it.
That's Knight Rider.
Mr. Oh, thank you. Knight Rider.
That's
Okay,
my buddy, Tony.
Okay.
Who I actually used to work with. I've been friends with him for about 15 years, if not longer.
That's a blessing.
Do you guys remember the Knight Rider reboot that was on for like a season on NBC? Like, it was so bad, and it was bad. The car sucked. How can you make Knight Rider and not make a good-looking car?
I don't know. I think I maybe watched one episode and was just like, I can't.
He's saying, don't get me started.
It was product placement, like whatever the car was, it was a Ford or something. But I was like, Ford can make sexy cars. Why have this ugly car be Kit?
I don't know. I don't think they truly understood.
Same
Part
reason
of the appeal of Knight Rider was that car.
Some reason someone placed a certain Snow White. Just saying.
You need to add Professor X to the intro of panels. Yeah, he's behaving. He's looking at all the spinny lights in the case, so he's behaving for right now. So yeah, I'll have to introduce him, Professor X, in his little Cerebro cat bed, which he loves very, very much. Let's see, Mr. Milquetoast is here. Oh, you're not in the wrong place. You were not in the wrong place. You were exactly in the right place. I call it spice. Some people call it straight shooter. I cut through all the nonsense and tell you what I think, and my panelists do as well. Let's see. CJ says,
"Spice. This is what I made for lunch today." I made some spicy, Jamaican fish with this today. That was my lunch I made. It's, oh my God. If you haven't bought this brand of jerk seasoning, it's incredible. What is it?
Well, as a matter of fact, you know what? It's so funny you should say that, Cameron, because I did the same thing. I make poached tilapia with jerk spice. It can't be too spicy, too spicy, because Cameron Girl doesn't like it because it's hot, but I make it just warm enough. And you have like green onions and shallots, and it's all mixed up with coconut milk and just.
We both did tilapia, jerk tilapia. I did tilapia. Mine was steamed. I steamed mine. Tilapia works well with jerk sauce. So yes, I put this back in the fridge. Yeah,
that is some good stuff. Walker's Wood jerk, the real stuff, made in Kingston, Jamaica. That's some good stuff. I tell you. Hey, Mama Lugo is here. Hello.
Hi, Mom.
Good seeing ya. Let's see. Fletcher Williams is here. Good to see you, Fletcher.
Good to see you, Fletcher.
Let's see. Who else we have got here? Osvaldo Lopez is here with us. Says, hey, beautiful people. F4 is not getting the love it deserves. Well, we are going to be talking about that, because once again, there's the folks who talk about it and yell and scream that it's this, it's that, and the other thing, and it turns out to not be the case. So that's why you always gotta trust your own research, Let's see. Mike Krallis is here. Hello there. Hail Raina and panel. Thanks for watching over there on X. Appreciate it, my dear. And let's see. I think there's always one person that seems at the end. Okay. Yep. I tried to jerk some. Okay. All right, Snortopopus.
I answered him.
Big eyed.
It's a family-friendly channel.
Yes, at least for the first 30 minutes to keep the advertisers happy. So let's see. We, of course, have got you all here. You know how I like to start off with some fun, and Black Zeus over on Instagram is absolutely hilarious. Check it out.
You a part of the Fantastic Four. He got stretchy powers. He got flamey powers. She got invisibly powers. And you ugly. Now you walking down Yancey Street with the trench coat, hat, and the shades like they don't know who you is. They start bullying you and you physically assault them. Kick him in the ass. Meanwhile, Reed, Johnny, and the Brady Bunch through storm finding an ancient Egyptian tablet that got you wanted, but you handsome again. They come home and stop you because your punk ass was fitting to leave town because you sick of being bullied for being ugly. They tell you about the tablet and they like, we finna go back in time because Doom just left his time machine unattended back in Latveria. They really got an art gallery of supervillains. So y'all go to this haunted castle and go back in time, and then y'all get attacked and captured because your powers stopped working. They got the camouflage drawers on the outside. They take you to Ramatut and he like, I'm a time traveler too, and I know all about y'all. Turns out he got stuck back in time and he decided to gentrify ancient Egypt. He used this gun to take your powers away. Break yourself, fool. And then he make y'all slaves. So you rowing this boat and you get handsome again because of the skyrock with the booty shorts. I guess Rama Tut ain't giving out dental plans. Now you think you Prince them all. Now Tut finna take Reed's girl and marry her. Look at Johnny Quest Storm. You snatched the power ray gun and give y'all powers back. You Rocky again. His punk ass run away and now y'all running funny too. That's a proper battle right there. Y'all get to his ship and he try and kill y'all and then the ship explode. You outside getting your photo chiseled. Now you feel good enough to get on the dating app again.
Oh.
Wow. That's a lot to unpack.
Gentlemen, but he's very good.
He
Black
is
Zeus X. Is that I'm gonna go follow him?
Yes, Black Zeus X. He is over on Instagram. Please do give him a follow. You know, it's like he loves pop culture the way that I do too, and it's like, and it shows in the stuff that that he comes out with.
So would that be like Cliff Notes for me?
Yeah, a really funny, and I would say funny urban Cliff Notes.
Accurate?
Yes. Yeah, it's got to be accurate, because if it's not accurate, the jokes don't pop off. So yes, it is.
No, I'm saying like the story, the whole how he accounted for that whole story.
Yes, it is. Mhm.
Okay.
I mean,
yeah.
Cartoon. I love that cartoon as a kid.
I did too. I used to watch that Spider-Man, that then all the Johnny Quest Storm. Yes, it's the stuff we used to say while watching these cartoons. You'd have like your own running commentary. You're watching this stuff. Not this villain again. Dang.
I still got 15 minutes before I can say what I called some of them, and I got smacked for it.
So, sometimes entertain myself. When I was living in New York, I'd often go to historically urban theaters to see people's reactions to films. And so two of my favorite ones were the reactions to the Exorcist re-release. We had all these young Black teenagers who had never seen The Exorcist, didn't know what it was about, and their reactions were quite amazing, as at the very moment. And then also to the Deep Blue Sea, the giant mutated shark movie. Oh my God, the reactions were brilliant.
I know exactly what scene you're talking about.
And when Samuel L. Jackson makes his speech and they gets eaten by the shark, let's just say it was a very lively and heartened audience.
Oh yes, yeah. We go to talk at the movie while we're there.
Yeah, it's very much a communal cultural experience.
Yeah, it really
like Rocky Horror Picture Show, but they don't understand. If you go to any of these like historically urban theaters, it's very much every movie.
Yes, that's what we do. We go in there and we talk at the screen. When stuff comes up, we're very involved. It's like if we want to go to a movie and have it be quiet, we go out to the suburbs where they sit very quietly and watch the movie and eat the popcorn and stuff like that. Unless they're the younger ones. The younger ones, they'll do the same thing and start talking
I prefer that to every single movie I go to now. There's always some idiot on their phone, and I'm that person who won't tolerate it. And sadly, they're always sitting next to me or sitting in front of me, and I'm always the guy's like, please put your phone away. And they get offended. I'm like, the movie's on. Put your stupid phone away, right? But when you're in one of these like young Black theaters, nobody's on their phone because they're talking to the screen. I know. They're watching the movie.
Oh, and we are having such a great time while we're doing that. Well, speaking of a great time, have any of you folks seen the crash out over my girl Sydney Sweeney's jeans
No,
ad?
I've heard
aware
there's
of it.
drama, but I don't
I'm
know.
aware of
I don't have all the specifics.
Well, apparently, a lot of folks, we'll just say, a lot of very, very jealous women and male feminists are upset about this Sydney Sweeney ad. I have no idea why they're so upset about it, but why don't we look at it and see why are they so upset? Let's see here.
Make that screen bigger.
It's among us.
Hang on.
We gotta get through that.
There we go. Okay.
Hello.
I see nothing wrong.
Sydney Sweeney has very keens.
I know what
She's got her own brand of jeans.
And she's got an old school Mustang too. I love it. Yeah, she has great jeans. They're doing a wordplay on the word jeans.
They're gonna say it's racist, Nazi, he's advancing white eugenics.
I'm like, I don't understand.
Sydney Sweeney has very keens. Sydney Sweeney has very keens.
Have you never seen the jeans commercials from like the 80s and 90s?
Yeah.
No, they probably never seen the old Guess jeans, the old.
Yeah.
What was that? The one with the friggin' crap.
I bet you want to try them. I remember doing that with my jeans.
Has very
Hold down.
Yeah, I could watch these ads on a loop.
That was like literally the thing. You watch these jeans commercials because usually it was a hot looking chick and she had the jeans on and usually had like either a hot car or a bag or something or whatever. And it was a very sensual commercial. And that's, what we came to see. Guess, Jordache.
Was it Marciano? I mean, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You need a Gloria Vanderbilt. Get all of those, or even more than that. Especially when a lot of urban designers started to get popular, like when Nellie's apple bottom jeans, Kimura's baby fat line. Everybody had like a pair. These jeans commercials. No one was offended by it,
and no one is offended by it. It's not about that. No one is misunderstanding the message. Like you said, we now have, there were always jealous women and male feminist bozos. They always exist as a weird subculture of society, but they never had all their YouTube videos to share their beliefs with the world.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
It's weird. It's just mad. She's on car covers. Yes, I said it.
Everything she advertises, people buy. Like these jeans are skyrocketing now, right?
Yeah.
She started advertising. Remember those Squatch body wash? Where she's playing "I Dream of Jeannie." I went out and bought 4 of those right after the. I had. I was like, "This is really good body wash." I saw that. I'm like, I'm gonna go buy those.
It is marketing genius, and American Eagle is making money off of all you triggered people because their stock has shot up. It's risen nearly 11% since the ad campaign launched last Wednesday. Wow. American Eagle is laughing all the way to the bank.
Sex sells. Good looking chicks sell your jeans better than some.
Dude, but putting her to the side, have you noticed the style of jeans that she's modeling?
Mm-hmm.
It's like the 90s is back.
Yeah, no,
yes.
That's exactly the thing. It's a return to those designs and that vibe.
Mm-hmm. and it's very attractive. I mean, even I would go and buy a pair of one of the styles that she's wearing.
It's like they're comfortable.
They are very comfortable.
Very, 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 very comfortable. And another thing, then with the car too. How many car magazines have hot looking chicks sprawled out on the cars? Okay.
Yep.
The two kind of go together. And jeans are very essential. They're functional. They're functional fashion, but they can also be very, very sensual fashion as well. And that's what sold jeans for decades. So y'all need to raise up off my girl, because apparently
her genius is this. Her genius is that, she is, first of all, an extremely, extremely intelligent woman, right? This is a woman that has created her brand. She skyrocketed from essentially this unknown chick who got on a bus, from Spokane, Washington, and came to LA and knew she was hot and said, I'm going to use that, and I'm going to use that to skyrocket myself, and then I'm going to get power. And she went on from that to becoming a hugely successful producer. She has made movies that have grossed hundreds of millions of dollars. She's produced them, right? That horror movie about sort of like the Immaculate, which I saw, which I actually enjoyed, and then the romantic comedy with Glenn Powell, right? And she produced those movies. This woman is worth $40-50 million. She's 26 years old, right? Every product she sells skyrockets. She understands that for this moment, she is the hot chick. And she's using it, but she's using it to create an empire. She's in many ways like as intelligent as Cindy Crawford was back in her day, right?
Mm-hmm.
She understands what she's selling, but she's more than that. She's the ideal person for my young Marilyn Monroe movie, because Marilyn was the same. She understood what she was selling. Right, she was much smarter than her physical looks, but she understood that was the door. Sadly, it ended more tragically for Marilyn. I don't think it'll end the same way for Sydney. I think she's a little bit more in control of her destiny than Marilyn was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she sure was. Fannie Willis Booty, thank you so much for that $9.99 super chat. Let me blow you up, my dear. In case you didn't know, Lorena, the most blatant racism I've ever received has been by white liberals. I'm so glad it's triggering them. Yeah, 100% agreed. Some of the most blatant, overt, and, well, no, I won't say, most of it's covert until you trigger them, and then it becomes overt.
No, in my case, it becomes overt, because, like I like to say, whenever everyone in Hollywood is a liberal until they meet me, and then there's suddenly right-wing fascists, right?
Yeah.
Because you're a Muslim guy. Suddenly, everything inside of them is triggered and comes out of their mouth like vomit. Right? It's not even covert. I think I was telling you, I was in a writer's room, a couple of years back, where sitting there, and the nice progressive white person told me to shut up and stop being uppity. Uppity.
Oh,
uppity.
yeah.
Uppity. I haven't heard that in a long freaking time.
I know. I'm like, what?
Uppity, because they didn't like me correcting them on something. Stop being uppity.
How dare you? We know. I know more than you. I know more than you. I've been good to you people. Go watch The Color Purple. You know exactly what I'm talking about with that scene. It is such hypocrisy.
We're going to talk about, sadly, the racism scale tends to come back full circle from, white conservatives to white liberals to white conservatives again. We're going to talk about that. Mm-hmm. It's a racism tends to go in a big circle. It's
absolutely.
A big circle. Everyone partakes in it.
But I'm going to play this because this is what I'm talking about. They've gone from she's body shaming people to, oh, you're talking about eugenics now. So I'm just going to let this play because, oh God, y'all need to stop buying into this stupidity here.
And I don't know why. Maybe because it's just so blatant.
She's crying?
I keep thinking that people just are not gonna believe us until we're hung out there. But then even then, I feel like they'll be like, "Oh no," kind of like they are with. I see the same perpetual self-imposed victimhood. You know, I did a post about saying, "Hey, like these are the action steps that we really need to see from the good whites."
Wait.
The good whites.
Crack.
The good whites. Wow. Okay. Keep going. Let's see what else you have to say.
Good
Yes,
whites.
It's the good whites, the ones that do things like,
Sounds like a demented band.
You know who's that? Does she
Nick
sound
and
like?
me. Who?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I asked you. I said who?
No, I said she sounds like like Lincoln Osiris from Tropic Thunder. Look at them white, the beady white devil eyes.
For 400 years. I'm like,
what do you mean, you people? Look at them white beady devil eyes.
Get this. It's like the good whites. What you think are the good whites are the ones that fall for this nonsense, who fall for the propaganda that somehow all the world's ills, including your own, are, due to white people, and they need to do the right thing and kowtow to every BS opinion that you have. That's what she's talking about, basically. To shut up and deal with it. Shut up and just be happy with being called racist,
Well, the good
Because
whites
are
uppity.
Yeah, they will.
When people tell me I'm racist, I said, nah, I hate everybody equally.
You're all equally worthless, to quote Ernie in Full Metal Jacket.
The fact that she's crying and like she feels like this woman is sexualizing herself. Hey, lady, I can get you a burqa if you need one. I don't see you too covered up there. I mean, you look like you're showing some skin to my side. Sydney's not showing as much skin as you are. I don't know about this.
She does look like she has a double armpit. I'm just saying.
She's jealous. They're so jealous.
Where I said I need protection, put my cash out, and she goes, "Well, would you just rather white women just not follow you at all anymore because da da da?" And I'm like, yeah, definitely unfollow me. If you thought you being here and clicking a follow button was doing me a favor, same as that one guy, whatever his name was. Descendant of the oppressor. He's like, well, Lindsay still does a good job.
I'm sorry, what? Y'all need to stop with this.
She's rambling about shit. I don't even know what the hell she's talking about.
Descendant of the
descendant
of the oppressor.
The oppressor. You hear that? Yeah, descendant of the oppressor. So apparently, white person clapped back at her, and she's like, "I don't need to listen to the descendant."
She's got all these archetypes: the good white, the good whites, and then the descendant of the oppressor. And these feels like characters in a board game, in like Clue or something.
It sounds like it sounds like a firearm product. This is the descendant of the oppressor. It attaches to the AR-25.
She sounds like the people that used to say the good black. Yeah, that too. It's like same church, different pew. The same thing. Yes, she did. Yes, she did.
I agree with my buddy. We're gonna take that name, and me and my buddy Tony are gonna make our band, Descendant of the Oppressors. That's it.
Should be.
That's it, man. You got it, Tony.
What? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Somebody already did that name in the 70s called Average White Band. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, I'm not familiar with this band. Okay. You mean
sorry, I
had
had to
Rolling Stones, the Average White Band? I
had to bring that up. Yeah. Average White Band. Play that funky music, white boy, the Average White Band. That was a banger, daggone. Yeah, I like that. I like that. This is just pretty much you have people who are just jealous that Sydney is doing what she is doing. She has a limited time in Hollywood and she is making her money from it. I don't know why
she
people
knows
upset.
the next stage of this. She knows. Sydney knows the next stage. There's only 2 roles. Well, actually, no, there's 3 roles. Somebody said there's only 3 roles for women in Hollywood: the hot chick, the homely DA, and driving Miss Daisy. I mean, those are your 3 stages as a journey, right? So she's gonna be doing Law and Order SVU in about 5 years. So she's milking this for what she can.
Y'all know I'm Team Sydney Sweeney. I love this chick. So you hating heifers need to calm down. You know what? Go on a real
That's another good name. Hating heifers.
Hate heifers. I like that.
that is some people are like, where do you get the term heifer from? Well, that is something that my Afro-Latina Southern grandmothers would use when it was very impolite to call someone the B word. So they would just call them a heifer.
It was used all the time in the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
I don't recall a time I didn't hear it, back then. Heifer this and heifer that.
I've heard it since I was very little.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the heck is that?
Yeah, but on a practical, I'm going to say something offensive here, at least to some people in this, and probably not in the chat here, but to probably our weeping willow here.
Okay, I'm going to get my offended face on right now.
Make it stoner. No, on a practical level, I'm being the promotion of what they call body positivity in the last several years was not promoting healthy lifestyles to people. Sadly, some of these women that were being put on extremely obese on as courageous in modeling campaigns and on covers then died in early, because of obesity related diseases, right? This wasn't promoting healthy lifestyles. Sydney's making people want to get on the treadmill and eat healthier. That's actually a good thing. That was normal before this bizarre brief moment where you had to pick up Sports Illustrated swimsuit, and it was all people that maybe needed to go for a walk, and that's not promoting healthy lifestyle.
Common, gotta remember something. I'm not fat. I'm round. It's a shape, so I'm in shape.
I'm not fat, a big bone.
Well,
remember that? Well, someone who, that was a bad segue. Not fat. Well, he played a fat person, actually, from a very famous comedy, coming from a Screen Rant. Donkey spinoff production starting after Shrek 5, confirmed by Eddie Murphy. So the Shrek franchise will seemingly be expanding after Shrek 5, with the beloved supporting character getting his time in the spotlight. The trailer for the long-awaited Shrek 5 dropped in February, which confirmed the movie would see a major time jump, with Mike Myers' Shrek, now teenage daughter, played by Zendaya. So what do you guys think about this?
Well, I'm just happy to see Eddie, working, because he's one of the greats of 2 generations, right? He's one of the great comics that has been around since the 1970s, since I was a little kid learning English from watching, Wonder Twins, cartoons, right? And he's brought so much joy and to us all. So it's wonderful that he's in his 70s now. He's out there creating stuff. He created so many beloved characters. Donkey is his beloved character. And it's interesting because I don't know if you tried to create Donkey today and Shrek today, or at least maybe, I wouldn't say today, I would say that maybe 5 years ago, 4 years ago, there are probably people saying that's really racist. Why is a black man playing a donkey, right? But here he is, he takes his character, brings it to life, and it continues on after all of these movies and now gets its own thing. People will watch this spinoff, I think.
And if you took some of these people these days back to when he first came out.
Ooh. Oh, yeah.
They worry about Donkey? Oh, they have no idea.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy, what was it? Was it Raw? Or was it Delirious?
Yeah.
When he was talking about when he came to San Francisco, and he said instead of police cars with the sirens, you had a shirtless gay guy on top of a car swinging his back and said,
What is this? What is this? There's a pat down. Yeah.
Woo! Oh my gosh, yeah, he was ruthless with those two. It's just like, come on, come on now. But in Shrek, he was absolutely hilarious. Like his character, first of all, the Shrek franchise anyway, is one of the things that took a lot of kids away from Disney and over to DreamWorks. Camera Girl being one of them, because she saw. I remember, I'll never forget this. I was living in LA at the time, and I was like, Shrek, really? There was this movie theater. I think it was it on Ventura Boulevard? Either way, it was in the Valley. I think it was still in Sherman Oaks. And apparently they had Cameron Diaz, Mike Myers, and somebody else, not Eddie Murphy, signing autographs, because I said, well, if it was Eddie Murphy, I'd get out and actually go and get autographed. But we didn't. But they were actually, I didn't think much about it. People hadn't really heard of Shrek at all. And then the movie dropped. I took Camera Girl to see it. She was like, I think about 4. She was in tears laughing like so hard, wanted everything, wanted the Shrek merchandise. That franchise is so darn big, and you have kids who have grown up on it. Puss in Boots, played by Antonio Banderas. You can't tell me he did not have fun playing that part. I could not believe that was him. And then they made the spinoff, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. I think it was like the 3rd Puss in Boots movie, which was way better than I thought it was going to be. I
enjoyed that movie.
It was so good. It was so good. So I'm thinking if they do the same thing, which they probably will, with the Donkey spinoff, I can see it being very successful.
Absolutely.
If they stick to really, really good if they stick to really, really good writing with it, I think it'll work well, because Eddie Murphy as Donkey is too funny.
So far, it's a franchise that hasn't really disappointed, and I expect it to do well.
Yeah. I mean, he's very aware of his brand, and I think you can probably count on maybe one hand how many movies of his don't work, right? I think in general he knows how to keep his audience happy. You rarely go, oh, Eddie Murphy's movies come out, I hope it's going to be good. You just presume that it will be.
Right. Yeah.
Which leads us to the other thing that he said, which has caused some unfortunate controversy, because I wrote about it on my Patreon, had a bit of a interesting responses from my own Patreon subscribers. But he's been telling people that he's scheduled to play the new Inspector Clouseau in a new Pink Panther film. Now, my caveat is this, which is what I said on my Patreon, is I don't know that this is real. I haven't heard anything about any new Pink Panther film being seriously pushed forward. And often actors will attempt to keep their name in the press and try to galvanize projects by maybe saying they're more further advanced than they really are, right? That's a very common PR technique, nothing new in that. And my instinct is, I don't know that this Pink Panther movie is happening right now, but sadly, a lot of people's response has been, I'm done with this, another race swap. He can't play Clouseau. I'm like, are you sure you can't play Clouseau? I mean, what's this race swap? Remember the Nutty Professor? The Nutty Professor, which was a race swap because, the original was Jerry Lewis from the 60s. And I don't recall that movie made some great impact that people remember it. Yeah, and then Eddie Murphy's version of the Nutty Professor created spin-offs. And not only that, I mean, if you think of the opening scene of Tropic Thunder, Jack Black's character essentially creates a white version of his.
The fatties.
He plays actually level of cultural impact that Eddie Murphy did by playing all the characters in the clumps and all that, right? So it's you don't think, if there's anyone, I mean, Steve Martin is one of the greatest comic geniuses of our time, and he didn't succeed as Clouseau because Peter Sellers was such a singular genius, right? But if there's anyone that I think can try it, it's Eddie Murphy. And then some people are, well, if he's going to be French, then, now why is a black man in France? I'm like, well, have you looked at the demographics of France recently? They should be happy. It's not some Arab dude playing Inspector Clouseau. I mean, come on. I mean, so it's kind of making me sad that people are automatically dismissing this because it triggers some feeling of them that they're being threatened that Eddie Murphy could play what was played by a white man when he's done it multiple times. And this was the man in the 70s that was doing risque jokes that were making fun of the black people as a wake-up call. A lot of what Dave Chappelle would do decades later, right?
Yeah.
Afraid to touch buttons in the black community on race. He wasn't afraid to do that. So I think it makes me sad that some people's automatic reaction is that he can't do that because he's black. I think that's the wrong reaction to this. I think if anyone can come up with a version of Clouseau that works as a black man, it's him.
And you make a lot of very good points, Cameron. One of the things that I've seen over the years with the race swapping that's going on, yes, some of it is absolutely lazy, and they want to put a black face on it when they know that's an inferior product. However, there have been race swapped characters, not because of just a race swap the character, but because of who the actor was. Okay, you had Lawrence Fishburne. Lawrence Fishburne as I think he was Perry White. They had him. It's like, who's going to say no? To him, Denzel Washington as the Equalizer. Who's going to say no to Denzel Washington?
Yeah, did anyone really complain about that?
No one complained about that. It was just like Denzel.
Objection with what's her name playing it.
Which one? Queen Latifah. Yeah, that.
He could not pull that off. That sucked.
Well, but then that's about acting a palette, whether you're the person to play it. That's all.
Mm-hmm. So it's like this didn't used to be an issue back in the day, because even if you did that, you had an actor that was worth their chops. You're just like, oh, okay, yeah, they can do it. And here's the also thing about French, and I noticed he looked at there. He said he could also be Haitian as well, or not necessarily Haitian. There have been black people in France 6 to 1500s.
Yeah,
my ancestry proves that actually happened. So if it's just that, it's Peter Sellers as Inspector Clouseau, which is classic. He does that so well. I don't see why it's like Eddie Murphy. People should actually be kind of happy about that for the most part, because it's not some rando that they pulled out and put in the role.
Yeah,
no.
The greatest comic of two generations.
Yes, exactly. So this is what you have going on. It's not somebody, that they pulled out. It was somebody who's known for comic genius, who has a track record for the most part. I know there's been some misfires like Norbit.
And you can count on one hand. I mean, you have to remember them, right? But yeah. remember when he did Coming to America, where he plays an African prince, right? I mean, again, there's lots of commentary about race and about social status and presumptions in there. That's commentary for both the white people, black people, Africans, Europeans. And he could pull it off because it's Eddie Murphy.
Exactly. And that's what it is, because it's who the actor is.
It's not done for just shock or to appease somebody.
Yeah.
If same thing, let's say Carlin was still alive and he wanted to play it, and it was between him and Murphy. I'm sorry, I'd go with Murphy. He could pull that off better than Carlin, and Carlin was funny.
Well, Carlin was very funny. Carlin's genius was a dry humor, whereas what Peter Sellers brought to it was a very specific mockery of French culture, which I think that Eddie Murphy can do because he mocks all cultures. He's a universal mockery guy, right?
That's why I wouldn't mind seeing him in this, because I could see him pulling something off like that. Compared to what LaReina's going to bringing up, what they're doing with the Snape character, that doesn't make sense. Because it's nothing against the actor. It's just you have an established character that can't be that way, and what are you bringing to it that you're going to take that type of role? That doesn't make sense to me.
And what it does is it will then force and again, the actor, I'm sure, is perfectly good and fine, right? The issue is not that, but the story now, because they've marketed this version of Harry Potter as being very close to the books, right? Well, then it's not going to be with, or because now you've got, remember when Snape gets lynched in the books by Harry's father? How are they going to string him up to a tree? How are they going to string up this black man to a tree without having other implications? Right? I mean,
Exactly.
we can change that, right? So now we're going from the book because, so what are we going to do now?
Yep, exactly.
You think they still haven't thought of that, or they just don't care?
I don't think they thought of that.
I don't think they did. I think it was, let's get this guy. I know he was in. Was he in Gangs of London? I think I saw Gangs of London.
A very talented actor. I don't have any doubt.
He's a great actor, but it's just like, why are you going to put him in a role like that? And I think they were just looking at, let's make the headlines and do all that. But no one
it is that white guilt. It is that the good whites. It's the good whites of Hollywood. It's their constant guilt of their actual racism that they have to. So let me give you the example where I was called uppity. Let me tell you what happened, right? So I'll give you the exact context. I was working on a show that never got on the air. It was being developed with Oliver Stone about Guantanamo Bay. About there's still people there 25 years later. People don't realize there's still people there being held in Guantanamo Bay without any rights, right? Obama didn't release them. Nobody released them. They're still there, right? And so we were doing a show looking at one of these people being held in Guantanamo, in this, black hole prison forever, right? And most of those people in Guantanamo were people that were just randomly, fingered by somebody who wanted to steal their land in Afghanistan, said, hand them over to those U.S. soldiers, and they were disappeared, right? So we're looking at one of those examples. And so when we were talking about casting, because the show, we had already created these, the two defense, or the two attorneys. It was going to be, it's a legal show. It was a legal case, right? And it was going to be these two attorneys, one representing the government and one representing this Muslim prisoner in Guantanamo, right? And one of the white savior in our room, there are quite a few, but this one was the loudest, right? She was from a very wealthy Hollywood family, multi-generational wealth, right? Multi-generational, like father had made some of the biggest movies of the 80s kind of thing, right? Okay. And so, but and to assuage her guilt, she was a big Marxist, right? Wasn't going to give up her mansion for the masses, but she was still loudmouth Marxist. But so, and she kept insisting that one of the two, that there was a character, the prosecutor was going to be, kept insisting that it be a black woman, and Lorena, you have sometimes been accused of being conservative black women. There are conservative black women, right? And the character is supposed to be very conservative. But the way we had written that character wasn't particularly believable in having the political stances on race, on international politics or whatever, because many black conservatives still have critiques of U.S. foreign policy, right? Because they've experienced power abuse, right? And as many black conservatives are not, they can understand the suffering of brown people in the Middle East. They really do, right? And so this character lacked any empathy for those people. And I said, I think making a black woman is not going to be believable, that she doesn't feel any empathy for this Pakistani guy who's been held without rights for 20 years, right? Who is actually innocent, and she's not interested in finding the truth of that. I think that's going to make her a very unlikable character and will actually increase racism, right? And most black people, I know, even conservative black people, are very sympathetic towards, bad things happening and oppression worldwide, even if they have different solutions to some of those issues here in America. And her response, this is when I got called uppity, when she said, we have a moral obligation that one of these two leads has to be black. I said, no, we have and I said, I'm the only minority in this room. I said, we have a moral obligation to tell the story authentically and correctly. And the characters will be the race that will be the product of the authenticity. What you're pushing is an inauthentic character that wouldn't believe the things that you're saying, right? She said, well, she was raised by white racists. Literally, that was her answer. She was raised by white people. And so she's really white on the inside. She was pushing like an Oreo kind of scenario. She's white on the inside, right? And so she doesn't care about Middle Eastern people and their suffering. And that's when I got really angry in the room. And that's when the boss told me, stop being uppity. Just be quiet. I'm like, I'm the minority speaking for the minorities here, and I got to be quiet, right? But that's an example of the leftist liberal racism that I experienced, because they needed to assuage their guilt by making any character black, even if it actually made the character unlikable and unrealistic. So that's it. That's my.
I know it's true. I'm shaking my head because I've seen it so many times with people talking about it. Just that's why I have Cameron on the show. There's a reason why certain people do stuff certain ways in Hollywood. Well, let's see. Over 155 of you are watching between YouTube and X. Thank you so much. Please do heart this stream over on X and retweet it. And please do give a thumbs up to this stream over on YouTube. We sure to appreciate it. Let's see. We've got a super chat and a member chat here. Let's see. Fanny Willis Booty. Oh my goodness. Still blessed. And I appreciate it. Here you go.
I know you want the goodies. Welcome to the goodie room.
You know what I love about that Bill Hader? He plays the white dude that can't dance.
Yes, and it fits.
He's perfect. The white dude that can't dance, right? His whole thing during the rap song is this.
And it's so darn funny. Oh my I love it. Oh man. Oh, thank you for the $4.99 super chat, my dear. If you start a band with the name Heifer, I'll definitely buy the album, Lorena. Okay.
Lorena, you want to sing or play drums?
You know, I'm gonna do like Sheila E. and I'm gonna play drums.
Oh my God. What is that incredible video where she's singing and playing drums at the same time?
Glamorous Life.
Glamorous Life. That is such a great video. And you're like, this woman is so beautiful, so sexy, so talented, and she's on the beat while she's singing.
Sheila E. was one of my is one of my favorite musicians. When I saw the video Glamorous Life, that is literally a song to like the soundtrack of my life. And I got to see her live at Epcot.
Oh wow. Performing
that live. She also performed Erotic City live. I don't know how she got away with that, but she did. It's fabulous to see her perform that. I'm telling you, look it up. It's on my channel. Check it out. Even though I did get copyright claimed. Thanatos Felicitas, thank you so very much. Been a member for 23 months as Mudblood. Anyone? Yeah, they didn't think it. They didn't think it through. They really didn't. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I am watching the series because I am curious as to what they're going to do. You guys know I'm a Harry Potter fan, so I want to see what it is that they're going to do, and I'm going to keep my eye on it. Because as far as I'm concerned, I cannot throw shade accurately unless I've seen the material.
And if this actor ends up working out, great. We want everyone to succeed. These kids they've cast look incredible. The kids look perfect, right?
Weasley kids got red hair. I'm like, there you go.
Did you see the latest picture of the actual Harry? I mean, he looks exactly like you would imagine a geeky, nerdy, you know.
Do any of you think maybe they're trying to throw us off on purpose?
I don't think they're actually thinking that way. I literally think I think they just made that particular casting choice to assuage their white liberal guilt, right? And without considering the impact it's going to have on the actor. And then when they get to the story points, because they're not aware of their own racism, someone will have to tell them. You know, maybe lynching Snape might have to be reworked there. They won't have thought about it.
Then they'll have to diverge away from the books.
Yeah,
it's not a lot of Harry Potter fans. Well, let's go to our main topic now that we've hit the hot topics. This is coming from Forbes. I present this without prejudice. Fantastic Four review. First Steps is another dull MCU snooze fest that refuses to have fun. Now, a couple of us on the panel have seen the film. So who wants to go first? Give us our general impressions of the film.
I'm a loudmouth, so I'll do it. I'm startled to see that headline because I absolutely love this movie. I'm going to go see it again, probably multiple times. It was wildly entertaining. I thought it went in places I did not expect, which is new. And you often kind of know where the superhero story is going to go. This didn't go in ways I expected. The actual battle sequences, particularly in space, were incredible. And then at the heart of it, it is a deeply family values, motherhood, fatherhood movie that had that. You know, many people in the fandom didn't watch it for I think dumb reasons, but Ms. Marvel is the last family values project that Marvel did, and this is the next one. And this is something that you can be really proud of. You know, if you're a mother, it makes you feel proud to be a mother. There's some very clear traditional values being promoted here. I absolutely love this film. So I don't know where Forbes is coming up with this review. I don't know what movie they watched.
Tom, your impressions?
I'm going to disagree with a little bit on it. Some of the stuff, I don't like the beginning of how they railed through a lot of the old Fantastic Four villains. That was kind of like, what? You went through a lot of them real fast. There was really no context to it. You know, that just pissed me off as a fan, I guess. Seeing some of the ways, can we spoil? Can we say spoilers?
Yes, spoilers. Y'all should have seen it by now.
Okay. So, you know, she tosses Galactus. She tosses him. She gets mad at him. She tosses him. He's trying to take the kid like he was trying to do when she was still delivering. Why didn't you toss the damn spaceship? It would have been easier. But I'm just thinking.
It's hard to write for people like you. I'm feeling bad for this poor screenwriter because I've been writing this movie and I know watching Tom tear my movie apart.
Hey.
You know what, Tom? Yes. Okay. See that.
Pull that
sorry.
Trying to pull that.
Sorry.
I get it. I have to tell that part of my brain to shut up. When I do, I do because I know the scene. You remember the scene where they took off in the rocket, and they took off in the middle of the Hudson River. I'm just like, who's gonna get fried within that whole radius?
I was just like, how is not the whole?
Yeah, exactly, and that's usually when the left side of my brain, the right side of my brain says shut up and enjoy the movie.
Scenes in space were awesome.
It's hard. It does.
It was great. It was really great battles in space.
It looked really great. The outfits looked great, especially when they're doing the television portion where they show them when they're getting in, you know, their suits and everything. The 60s aesthetic was down. Everything looked crazy authentic. So I absolutely loved the way that they did that, because it didn't feel like you were looking at the 60s. It actually felt like you were in.
Yeah, because the whole world is that.
The video stuff they're showing, their tech was kind of a mix of new and old, where you could see where, okay, he took his brain to it, but they didn't make it like everybody had flat screens. You could see everything was small little monitors. They might have been like more of a greener color type thing where he was working with it. The robot with the tape drive was freaking hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
You know, slapped his eyes and changed it out to space. That was hilarious.
That was funny. I have such a magnetic tape, things that they used to do with magnetic tape back then just like fascinates me. So I thought it was cool. You pop it open, take it out, put the new tape in. Magnetic tape. That was cool. But yeah, I did enjoy watching this film. I enjoyed it way more than I did James Gunn's Superman film. We'll kind of talk about that in a little bit. But yes, it's a emphasis on family. I get what Tom was talking about the intro. If you're a comic book fan, it's going to drive you nuts because it's like slow down. But if you're talking about the normies in the MCU, they're trying to just like,
I didn't like
they're going to
how
catch
quick the kid grew.
But there's a time cut though. There's a time cut, right? It takes a while for Galactus to appear.
Yeah, it took like what? It took like
because
like
Silver Surfer gets trapped. Well, Silver Surfer gets trapped in the wormhole, so they have
black hole.
The black hole, right, in the singularity. So they said it's going to be at least a month, and so by the time they get back, you know, it's been it was a month before Silver Surfer could escape, and then they have to cross the galaxy to get.
Kid was damn near a toddler when this stuff was happening already.
And then let's see, because Galactus was around Jupiter, and I forget exactly what
Dude
they
eats plants.
say. They
He's
had
gonna
like
get
3
there a little
months or
bit quicker
something
than
like
we're used
that.
to.
But yeah, the baby was older because, well, you're using twins on the set. Camera knows what I'm talking about.
And it
Okay,
takes a
it's like,
while to make a movie. It takes a while.
I get
yeah,
that. I'm just taking it apart.
Yes, you
it
are.
does.
I'm going to use a bad word now. When we screenwriters get together on a TV show and talking about trying to figure out how to make all the logic of the thing work, and then there's one little thing left, and then we all go, yeah, that's the asshole problem. Because there's always going to be one asshole that's not going to be satisfied with that.
Oh, I have a shirt that says it.
Spend more time on this. That's for the asshole. Let him critique it because we can't spend more time on solving this problem.
It's hilarious
Cameron,
because there's that
I have a
part of me.
shirt. It says, "My teacher said I could be anything, so I chose to become an asshole."
You're the asshole. You're that guy in the room. We're all like, yeah, just forget it. There's gonna be that asshole complains about it. Nobody else is gonna notice it. You're that guy.
And I'm proud of it.
There is always that guy. No, you can't do that. It's not for you. It's that part's not for you. And that's like a constant fight when I see movies.
Tony just
like
ratted me
this.
out. Tony ratted me out. He was
did. That guy.
Yeah, we literally go. That's the asshole's problem. It's not going to be our problem anymore.
But it's so funny. It's so funny, but it's true because I literally I have to tell myself when I see things like that, I just say, you know what? Look, they do not have time for a 5-hour movie. Just just go with it. So it's like I can give them grace, with that. But yeah, at the crux of it is, what if the only way that your planet could be saved is if you give up what's most dear to you? You give up your child. I did not expect that to be the crux of the film, especially given that that Sue and Reed Richards have been trying for like 2 years to conceive a child. And turns out, guess what? They're pregnant. They're worried about the baby. What's going to happen? Because they had gone up in space. All hell broke loose. They came back not the same, but they're worried about what's going to happen, to their kid. And then, they go try to negotiate with Galactus, and he wants the baby.
Yeah.
What do you do? And when they come back, the public that loved them so much, and you have to tell them, Galactus wanted our kid. No, we're not going to give him to him. What do you mean you're not going to give him a kid? I did not expect that plot point to go there.
Well, what it also showed was their integrity. They didn't have to reveal that. Nobody knew what was being offered. It showed their integrity, that these are people of honesty to the world, right? They see themselves as a world, and part of that is having integrity to tell the truth. And then they really are shocked when everyone's like, yeah, give him your kid. It's all of humanity versus one baby, right? Everyone's like, give him your kid, right? And then they become the villains for not doing that. But anyone knows no parent will ever do that.
No
parent will ever do that. If you give a parent, the world has to die or save my child, every parent will say, save my child, and that's the instinct God has given them.
Go ahead, Tom.
Nature.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I love so much about the Marvel universe in general as compared to the DC universe. The Marvel universe always gets down to the realism of the human condition. Some folks will easily say, yeah, just give up the kid, let him have the kid. We need our planet. But it's like, in reality, what parent would do that? And you can see it on Sue's face. She's just like, no, I'm not giving you my kid. And then she comes out later on. She didn't have to. And she comes out and she makes this speech, about
really moving,
her
really
life.
speech, yeah.
Very moving speech about her life and how she grew up. And, her and Johnny did not have a mother. Their father could have been a lot better than what he was. But, it is what it is. But she basically says, we're a family. We are a family, all of us. Talking to everyone that's gathered there that basically wants her to give up her kid. And she says, I will not give up my child for this world, but I also will not give up this world for this child. Yeah. And I thought that was actually some really, really good, really, really good writing there in that in that moment. And the MCU movies used to have moments like that. So I love what they did. And yeah, mad. Oh my gosh, when the Silver Surfer, Shalabal, I shouldn't say the Silver Surfer, Shalabal basically came for her, basically tried to snatch the kid out of her stomach. Okay. Sue was not having that. She was not having that at all.
So
all
let's
the
talk
way.
about Shalabala, because I like that character a lot. I liked her. I thought the actress did an incredibly emotional job with what could have been a robotic character, right? And then for me, the dynamic with Johnny Storm and her, because it really is a Johnny Storm and I'll call her the female Silver, but Shalabal, it's a Johnny Storm Shalabal relationship, right? Which is, and I thought their dynamic was wonderful. And I think it worked better because he is a playboy and she's a beautiful woman. I actually think that dynamic worked better that way.
It did. Even the quip that Ben made said, "Hey Johnny, your girlfriend's here."
Yeah, at least they didn't make him gay.
Yeah.
And so let's talk about casting. There are a lot of people that initially thought that Mr. Quinn was wrong for Johnny. I think he did a great job. I think I enjoyed him tremendously. He actually makes Johnny more than just handsome playboy, right? He's very smart, and he actually saves the day in ways that are unexpected. He actually does what normally Reed would do, like using his brains to figure out a solution nobody else has figured out, right? That's given to Johnny here. And, and in the end, again, I will hold a spoiler. He's really ready to sacrifice everything for his nephew, which really was very meaningful to me because I've got, 2 nephews and a niece, right? And I understand that.
When you look at what Galactus said to them too. This kid was gonna, he did not want to take the kid. He wanted to make the kid his replacement for his internal hunger.
Yeah.
Could they have expanded on that a little bit? Excuse me. What?
Well, but I understand it's what it is he's essentially torturing this child for eternity, turning him into a monster that will forever have to keep doing this so that he can die and be out of the system, right? Yeah. And it's not something his child has chosen. We don't know. At least the movie doesn't go into Galactus's backstory of how he became Galactus. We understand that he was once a normal human-like entity that became Galactus. It suggests he might have chosen that, but this baby isn't being given the chance to choose that. And so it's really horrific to basically put your horrible situation onto an innocent child.
Yeah. So you got to figure, even if they did, let's say they wrote it where they gave the baby up. Say the baby ain't going to be worse.
Yeah, it's like basically it's a living death sentence. And I'm trying to remember what other movie, because we've seen this before, where you have this all-knowing entity who's been doing this for like millennia. It's like, I just want to die. And I'm going to, which one? Sorry?
Transformers, Planet Eater, cartoon.
Yeah. Same deal. So.
Well, and they did Galactus in the first Fantastic Four, the second one of those two, right? The one with Jessica Alba. It wasn't a good character. I thought this is actually an interesting character.
Yeah, this one was. And the special effects for Galactus, I thought was actually really, really good. I was surprised with how detailed it was. So with this one, he wasn't more like some entity out there. He physically comes through the planet, and you actually see just the scale of what he's in, the planet-eating machine that he's in. I thought that they did that special effect with him really, really well. But yeah, the whole context with Shalabal and Johnny Storm, I like that, especially how she talked to him. And he actually took the time trying to figure out what the heck it is, that she was saying. So I thought that dynamic worked really, really well. I didn't like that. Well, whoever is to blame for this, or maybe it's just to feed off of the outrage machine that gets people talking about the film, that somehow this was an MCU moment by using Shalabal. Now, I have a question for you comic book heads, because I did not follow the Fantastic Four as quickly, well, as tightly as I followed like the X-Men. Was Shalabal always the herald for Galactus?
My understanding is that this female version was a minor character, and that the male Silver Surfer was always that herald, right? That's my understanding, certainly from people that have grumbled about it on my Patreon, right?
Yeah.
But I want to just say again, MCU, since the theme of this movie is motherhood, we discover Shia LaBeouf's black story is that she sacrificed her life to save her daughter and her world. And in the process destroyed other people's lives. But this is again a horrific, what would a mother do? Become this, and I'll spare your baby. Most mothers will take that, right? And that's the horror of it. And so it wouldn't have worked the same way had it been the male Silver Surfer. You needed the mirror image of the problem Sue is facing with the choices that Shia LaBeouf made for her daughter. They mirror each other. So it wasn't made for let's be woke and make it a woman. The characters mirror each other. It's a storytelling point.
Yeah, exactly. Especially where, most people can empathize. It's like you don't want an innocent child taken. But even as someone, we'll say like someone who's like had children, anyone tries to take your baby, that's a death sentence that you have coming for you. And you could see that constantly with Sue, even the discussion that she has with Reed, where it's just like, he didn't say it. He wanted to say it, but he didn't say it because he didn't want to think that that's exactly what they were going to have to do, that was going to be their last resort, that they were going to have to do, use their kid as bait for Galactus. And you could tell he didn't want to say this. It's like any father worth their salt wants to protect their child, which is why he didn't want to talk about that. But turns out that that's what it was, that they had to do. And the end scene with Sue Storm totally emphasized with that.
Well, again, it's mirror because we don't reveal everything, but Sue is being forced to potentially sacrifice everything for the baby, which is the choice that Shia LaBeouf was given, right?
Yeah.
And Shia LaBeouf's actions at the end make sense because she's witnessed what Sue was willing to do. It all ties in. This is good screenwriting from someone who does this professionally. This was structured screenwriting where every character mirrors each other and plays a role in the character arc of development of the other character.
And Shogi, what do you mean if the theme is motherhood, it's one more reason not to watch it?
What?
What's the point?
The theme is family. It's not motherhood is just as much a part of it as fatherhood is, as extended family is.
I mean, I hope that's a joke. I mean, I would hope that I'm going to assume you love your mother. I mean, I'm going to have to hope that that's not, you don't actually mean what you wrote there.
Just give me a little bit of context on that one, because if
motherhood is a beautiful thing, it's not woke. It's
exactly
a beautiful, natural thing. And many people have been saying that the wokesters have taken away the value of motherhood with birthing persons and all this stuff, right? And devaluing both mothers and fathers to make us automatons.
I don't want fatherhood either. Well, that's a part of who they are.
I mean, that's what made that actually allows us to talk about Reed Richards, because some people have critiqued, again, they're Pedro, Pascal.
Pedro burned out, rainbow licking. God, go away.
I like Pedro in this, and I think he actually, the reason that what I've never seen before in the Fantastic Four earlier versions is Pedro's version of it is someone who's haunted by his mistake. He put his friends and family to space and changed all their lives, right? He made them into these other things and made Ben into this horrific looking thing for the rest of his life, right? And the guilt he had of his arrogance, of his mastery of science is what haunts him. So the way that he plays this character is in many ways someone who is fighting with himself for what he did and trying to find a way to, use his brain to not deal with emotionally the consequences of what he did. And then this movie is a journey of him coming to understand, allow himself to feel, which is what he does with his baby at the end. So again, this was good screenwriting from my point of view.
Yeah, Cynthia Carter brings up a good point. And I see the super chats. I'm going to get to him a little bit. I love the Reed Sue struggle between what their hearts want, but their heads know, and how hard it is how hard it can be to be married to someone who hurts you by being who they are, even when you love who they are. Yes, that was a very, very real moment.
Or when she says, "Sometimes, I love you. Sometimes you hurt me."
Yeah.
Every married couple knows that exchange.
Yeah, being you hurts me. Being you sometimes hurts me, because he is more comfortable, and this is usually very, very smart individuals, intellectually smart individuals, will a lot of times say things and they're not really thinking about how it impacts other people, but it does. I won't call it a character flaw. We'll say it's a part of their DNA, for the reason why most engineers are much better with things than they are with people. So that was a very real exchange. So, I like that, because you could tell Reed's like, look, I'm sorry, I don't mean to.
But that was a shaking point for Reed. That's a turning point for Reed, was finally the truth of his inability to get in touch with his own feelings. And I mean, you don't have to be like a male feminist. A guy, I think a masculine man is in control of his emotions and aware of them, right? You don't, to be disassociated from them is not masculine. It's about channeling them in a healthy way for your family and your community, which is what Reed learns.
Exactly. So I thought that was very, very realistic. If there's ever going to be marital discord, it's between the Fantastic Four is the best place to show that. So,
and as Amanda Pizzolatto said, this is the first family of Marvel. It's a family.
Yes.
I mean, if it's not going to be about family, what is it going to? It's not going to be motherhood, father, brothers, sisters, best friends who are like your brother. What's it about then? I mean, it's about nothing if the Fantastic Four isn't about family.
Yeah, because we say that in the Dark Council all the time. They are the first family of Marvel. So.
Well, I don't see what the issue is to have a family dynamic in a superhero movie. I mean, why not?
It makes them relatable.
Nothing wrong with it. Exactly. And to your point, Lorena, you mentioned that this is what Marvel is kind of known for. They tend to tap into that more the humanity, the human experience aspect to their stories and characters is what I picked up from you. And that's why you tend to gravitate more towards Marvel over DC. And I would never put that together anyways, because I don't avidly follow superhero stuff, but I listen. I hear things. I listen to you guys, but the more I'm hearing about this movie in detail, and it's not spoiling for me, I kind of want to watch it now. Like it seems like it would
you will love it.
Kind of make me cry at times. Would it make me cry at times? And make me laugh. And the whole giving up your child part. I mean, obviously, it's a different dynamic in their story. It's like saving the whole world kind of thing, I guess. But there are parents out there who have experienced that painstaking decision to let go of a child for their best interest. So, and what about X-Men? Isn't X-Men kind of, I mean, maybe not blood related, but aren't they kind of like a family-esque because they're all so close?
They're like, how would I put this?
Don't they kind of?
They're more like the Harry Potter family, because it's an academy.
Yeah,
agreed.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. But you have that. You have those close bonds, that family-like, where I guess they say sometimes you choose your family or your family chooses you. It's not always about blood, kind of.
Yeah.
What's great about this movie is it really is about family. It's about the person you marry, your brother, your best friend who's like a brother. This movie that is like what would happen if your family got superpowers and they're still your normal family with all their normal family problems, but now they got to save the world too.
The world wouldn't be ready for it.
Yeah.
That's kind of a cool storyline. I mean, just the way you pitched it there. I think that's cool. And now I'm gonna watch it. I'll probably enjoy it.
As a mother, I think, you know, it moves me deeply as just a son, right? Who's close to his mother. I take care of my mother. She stays with me. After my father passed in 2010, she came to live with me, and I've been taking care of her since then. She's away for a couple of weeks now with my sister, but I'm missing her already. And it really makes you understand, you know, in my religious tradition in Islam, we have a saying that paradise is at the feet of the mothers, right? And it makes you really understand that you know, motherhood is a magical, sacred thing that is unlike any other human dynamic that exists in the world. And this movie makes all the magic you see with the special effects. That is the magic of this movie.
Yeah, it is. It's, how would I put it? I'm not going to spoil this one particular part, but let's just say when I saw it, I literally almost started to cry. I knew what was going to happen. I kept my mouth shut because I'm like, your writer's brain is going crazy. Shut up.
You knew that point. They're solving everything except the asshole point, but they're solving this one.
Yeah, I'm like they're gonna have to. They're gonna have to because they're gonna have to. Gonna need to pay off. There's too many cues I'm picking up. I'm like, okay, shut up. But that whole scene, it's like they dragged it out on purpose. They needed to. So I literally like almost started to cry. Yes, yeah, call me whatever, but you know, it's like any human being in general, but especially if you have had children, whether you're father or mother, but especially if you're a mother and you see what happened there. It's also such a very wonderful affirmation of life as well. And I gotta give them credit for doing that. So I had fun watching this movie. I had some nitpicks with it, especially with the rocket dynamics, and Tom knows what I'm talking about.
I'm not gonna call you the word.
I'm like this. I'm just like,
you're a fellow guy, but
let's like shut up.
It's fiction. Come on.
I know.
People don't turn into rocks and people don't
After you spend
fly. It's
12 hours
fiction.
trying to solve
Just
the
go
story,
with it.
and then
The
there's like,
engineer in
well,
my brain
what
had
about
to
that?
say,
Shut up.
put duct tape on you. I mean, I'm the kind of person where they're just like, okay, we don't have enough fuel to get home. And in my mind, I'm thinking, what are we going to slingshot around? Sure enough, that's what they said.
Instantly popped in my head. I'm just
That's
like,
what they
come on,
said.
let's play it out.
That's what they said.
Didn't they do that in Star Trek? Whatever. Let's do that, right? You know, and yeah, can we all go home now? I need some sleep.
I mean, they did, but Reed had to actually calculate the exact pitch that they needed in order to slingshot around the moon and make enough, have enough fuel to get home. So you
Didn't he tell her while she was giving birth, hey, in between contractions, can you make us invisible?
Yes, he did.
I wanted to see that woman's head turn around, like
Yes,
like
that's
the
exactly what an
Exorcist.
insensitive dude would say. He'd be like,
That's
baby,
getting
can you solve this problem? She's like, I'm giving birth right now.
It totally would. That's Reed's engineer brain, and I totally get it. Although
I'm an asshole. I even wouldn't do that.
I'm surprised Sue didn't like pin him to the wall or something like that for saying that, but I get it. And that's what made it so funny, because just like, seriously?
But every woman gets it. Every wife gets it. It's like the husband that makes that extra demand that you don't understand what long day you've been through dealing with 10,000 problems. And they're like, honey, can you do this one more thing? And the wife wants to strangle the husband, right?
Yes.
I think Erica would agree that that's a historically accurate phenomenon in marriage.
Yeah. It's what makes the world go round.
It's so funny. And here I am thinking, yeah, you do need gravity to push, but okay, yeah, I guess we're going to do it while we're slingshotting around.
But let's be honest, that whole sequence with the black hole was scary and effective.
It was.
It was really tense and nerve-wracking.
It was. So yeah, that overall, it was a good watch.
Yeah.
I liked watching it. Is it a good movie? Yeah, I'd like to see it again. I give it like about a 7 out of 10. I would go back and see it again. Is it a good MCU movie? It's pretty darn close. It's not the level of Captain America: Winter Soldier. It's not that level yet. It's not the level of the Avengers Infinity War. It's not that level, but it's definitely better than anything that we've gotten in Phase 4. Exclusive of Spider-Man No Way Home. Take that out. Take out the take that out the equation.
That's Sony. That's Sony.
Yeah, so it's I can't take that out the equation, but it's good enough to say that if they use this as a baseline to reset things to the way that good writing is supposed to be, we'll say even better writing for Avengers Doomsday, whatever, then they're on the right track. You're watching a film where you're not being preached to about your sexuality. You're not being preached to about your politics. They're not bringing it in stuff like how bad it's been for Black people or whatever. They're not doing that at all. At the basis of it, it's a superhero film. Maybe not the best one. If I go back and ranked all the Fantastic Four movies, this one would be number 3. Silver Surfer is my favorite. And then the first Fantastic Four film. And then this one. Just because I like the other, I think the other two are definitely better superhero films. But this is worth it. It's worth the time going to see it. There's zero woke about it. I don't know what people are thinking or what they're seeing. If they're saying that it's woke, is it woke because there's a woman in it?
No, that again goes back to the
what
thing
it
we
is?
say, the whole Eddie Murphy phenomenon, where they're saying what they're not saying what they really want to say, right? And so this isn't a woke movie. There's I mean, and I'm having the conversation with people in the chat where some people are suggesting that this isn't enough of a course correction. Well, I don't know what more of a course correction you want. You didn't get politics in this movie. You got strong family values. I don't understand what it is people want. That was the complaint. So what is the complaint then? What is the complaint, right? I don't know what it is. It's entertaining. It's family values. It's non-political. So what's the complaint? That's not a course correction. I just don't understand what people want.
Well, some of the
that was great. That was hilarious.
So funny.
That was so true.
That was 3 guys figuring out a car seat, which is actually true.
I had to laugh because the first time I had to put a car seat in a car, it didn't work. And I'm like, I'm an engineer. I should be able to figure out how to put a freaking car seat in a car.
Yeah.
You need more than an engineer, Lorena. You need to be like a mad scientist on top of it, and
something like that.
See, every guy understands it. Every guy's like, we're happy to help you when you got your own baby or you're helping your sister with a baby. You don't know how to make that thing work. I don't care if you've got 3 PhDs and can take people into space. You can't make that car seat work.
The thing a lot of people are complaining about it. I think they're saying it and they don't know how to say it is, and they're not realizing Stu's rage at the moment when that baby was trying to be taken by him, when she did all this stuff and pushed him around. They're comparing that to the Star Wars movies with the Mary Sue moments. And a lot of people are saying that. It's like, oh, all of a sudden she can do this. Why couldn't she do this before? That's why I brought up it's like she was still pissed when he was trying to take the baby from her womb, that she should have pushed him in space, that whole spaceship, and toasted it. But I digress.
Well,
and people are saying, hey, she got these powers. She's all, she can do this to an Eternal. This Galactus, she can do that to the Galactus. Is she going to be able to do that? Why was she? Well, it cost her life that she had to be revived.
Right. I mean, it's too extreme. I mean, she ain't a Mary Sue.
She didn't know how to control it, so it was pure emotion doing that.
Exactly.
Which makes more sense.
Exactly. Because
but I get where people would see pieces of that, not take it into context or the correct way, and focus on that as a Mary Sue moment.
But again, I think that's people wanting it to be a Mary Sue moment. Again, even if you saw that as a clip in a commercial or something, it's I don't know. I'm of the view, because I was very loudly against these dumb Star Wars movies. I think poor Daisy Ridley was forced. Great actress given a garbage script, garbage role that ruined her career after that. I think she's the biggest victim of all of this, and I've been very against it to the point that it's made me enemies in Hollywood. Like literally, people like you shouldn't be talking publicly about this, right? But I really, after the decade of watching this, I'm now seeing people that are saying these things. I'm like, dude, it's like you want it to be 2017 again. You need to be angry about it. So you want to roll back time, you know, and imagine that it's that world when it isn't. So when they give you what you want, you refuse to see it.
Well, I'll add this point in there, and it's going to seem extremely simplistic, but it's true. Okay. The first attempt that Galactus made to try to snatch the baby, okay, Sue had not given birth yet. And maybe this is just me channeling what it is to be a mom. There's a big difference, especially when it's your first kid, between before you give birth to that kid and after you give birth to that kid. And you've raised that kid and you've nurtured that kid, and someone tries to take that child away from you. That's what Sue was channeling, and why she was so much stronger at the end. I mean, you can debate me if I want. I'm going to stand on this hill as much as possibly can. But again, Marvel taps into what makes us human. And those things about what makes us human, that makes us stronger. My dad was in a DC, as far as I was concerned. The DC ones were kind of like above us, almost like gods. Like they could never screw up and do something wrong, or really empathize with what it is to truly be human. Yes, Superman did. Yeah, I get that. Batman, yeah, definitely. But they just kind of seemed at a higher level and not down here where us mere mortals have to scratch, you know, every day. So that's how I saw it. You know, there's a difference between the baby that you grow and then the one that you raise. It's something that it's different. And yes, that's right. Mama bears are a trope for a reason. You don't. And that's at the center of that. So yeah, I think a lot of people are just splitting hairs with that. Some people want to be angry just to be angry. Some people, they see like a female in a movie and they just freak out and say it's the MCU, blah, 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 whatsoever. Again, the whole dynamic with Shallabal and with Johnny Storm, I actually like that. It was done very, very well. So it was an enjoyable film. Like I said, I liked it better than I did Gun Superman movie. Gun Superman movie wasn't bad, but it wasn't a good superhero movie. That's just me. That's how I felt like it was. Was it a good movie? Okay movie? Yeah, it was an okay movie, but I didn't think it was a really great superhero movie. But I'm a DC normie. That's my DC normie. That's my DC normie opinion. I'm a Marvel person. So I've been trashing a lot of bad Marvel movies of late, but I have to hand it to them. This one, they did absolutely well. This one, you can take your family to. This one, you can go to and not get preached at. And that's pretty much what people want. They want to go to a movie and be entertained, not be preached at. So,
yeah, and I wanted to go to a movie where you could take your kids and not have to worry about what your kids are being fed. You know, as a parent, that's kind of a big deal. Part why I put my kids in front of video games. I didn't trust Hollywood, not even when I was raising them.
I just like Ben Grimm holding.
I gave them the remote. I gave them the remote control and said, "Have fun." But you know, when good stuff is there, it's really good, and it sounds like this is a really good family movie, not just a date night movie, not just for a certain demographic, but the whole family unit looks like they could enjoy this.
Yeah, I mean,
Erica.
I was
going to say.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to say, Erica, you just have to see Ben Grimm, the Thing, holding the baby. It is so cool.
Let's give him credit. That actor, who, I mean, he's really a voiceover role, right? Like he does such a great job. People people were quibbling about the accent, whether it's this. I didn't care about. I mean, it sounded New York to me, right? People, that's not from this part of New York. It's from that part. Whatever. I mean, people, in my opinion, were looking for reason to dislike him. He's such a wonderful character. Ben Grimm is such a heart-filled. He's a big smoothie, which I think is the character from the comics, right? It's a character I knew from the cartoons, right? He's a big, overpowering smoothie with a big heart, and he plays that here, and with these scenes, especially with him and the baby, and with him with the woman, you know, the school teacher that he has a crush on. These are so, and the pain. There's that wonderful moment where he's looking in at a TV interview of himself when he was human, and he's never going to look like that again. He's in his mind, he's a monster. You see the sadness in his face that he's never going to be a good-looking or just human-looking person, and yet he can still hope for love. It's a very heartfelt performance.
Yeah, it really is. And somebody asked me about the '94 Fantastic Four movie. I don't acknowledge that. I didn't like it. Totally didn't like it.
Well, Jessica Alba was hot in it, but whatever.
Yes, I did. Yes, she was. I did like Jessica Alba.
Yeah.
Let's see. We have got a couple of super chats before we hit our last topic really, really, really quickly. Over 180 of you are watching between YouTube and X. So thank you so much for being here. Make sure, do the things, heart, all that stuff. Appreciate it. Osvaldo Lopez for $1.99. Thank you so very much for that super chat. Here you go. Oh, daggone it. I'm so sorry. I didn't hit it right. Wait a minute. Here we go.
Ooh, here's a key grip. Hit that director in the face. Really fucking hard.
Ow. I love how the way the grip said, I'm sorry, man. I got to do it right.
that man was not sorry when he threw that punch. Pull that off.
Oh, tell you, it's Tropic Thunder clips. I love them. Matter of fact, I got to get some more after seeing that movie again. Saw F4 twice, packed theaters, everyone clapped. Oh, that's great.
That was what I saw as well.
That was great.
Packed.
Mine wasn't packed because it was kind of like in the middle of the afternoon. But from what I'd heard, most of them really liked it. I talked to some folks on the Dark Council, guys in the Dark Council. The overall opinion is yes, they did like it. Liked it better than the Superman movie. And we got some DC heads, who love DC. So yeah. Consensus is, wow, this Marvel actually pulled it off. They have a way to go to get back to consistency, but it looks like this is what this is the one that they've started with trying to reset things.
Yeah, and I just want to, as always, plug the beginning of this turn in this direction was Miss Marvel, which most of the fans didn't watch, and frankly, for really dumb reasons, because they assumed if it's gonna be a Pakistani girl, it's not made for me, and then it ended up being the most family values, heartwarming thing that Disney had done in years, and that started pointing it in this direction.
Yeah, because I know I had told you, I'd said, well, Cameron, it wasn't really made for me, and
I watched it. I watched the series.
Yeah, I said, look, I said, here's the thing. I said, it's like a Disney Channel, like the good old days of the Disney Channel, where they would have the kid shows and the teen shows. And it was a great family show. You had a tight, central, nuclear family. The mother, she was like my mom. Where are you going? Who are you going to see at these conventions? What are you going to do? That was wonderful to see. So I told people, every time I would hear people say, well, oh, Ms. Marvel was this, that, and the other thing, I'm like, did you watch it? You probably didn't watch it. And if you did, you'd notice that if you had any nitpick with it, it's mainly, okay, I'm not the audience for it just because of the age thing. However, was it something that you could sit your kids in front of? Yes. Was it something that the whole family could enjoy?
I had another reason to watch it. I wanted to see parts of New Jersey.
Yeah.
I saw that too. I'm like, man, that reminds me of such and such and so and so.
It was Jersey City, and that show was so meaningful. Aside from the fact I'm Pakistani, my parents came over during partition, and the show goes back in time to the horror of partition, which is one of the most horrifying events of recent human history. A lot of suffering. My parents endured that as children, right? And I watched that show with my 80-year-old mom every single episode. And that I haven't had a bonding experience with a TV show with my mother since I was a little kid. Here I am, a dude in his 50s with his 80-year-old mom watching a show, and then we get to the partition stuff. It's very emotional for her because it takes her back to her childhood when people are being rushing to trains, and trains are filled with dead bodies, and there's your neighbor suddenly your neighbor turns against you and wants to kill you. It's a horrific thing, right? And it was one of the most horrific experiences. My family went through it, and then watching it with my mom was really bonding for me. But it didn't have to be Pakistani. You're just like, you understand what it's like when a family is torn apart by events that they can't control. All of us have gone through, hopefully not that extreme an event. We've all had crises that have bonded us, torn us apart and bonded us. And that's what people can get.
Exactly. Charles Rattler, thank you so much for that $5 super chat. Let me hit you up.
Or you can grow a conscience in the next 5 minutes and see where that takes you.
Thank you for the $5 super chat. Says F4 had strong family values, but the characters I could not engage with, like Superman and Mr. Fantastic. I liked Mr. Fantastic. I liked Mr. Fantastic way more than I did Superman in that movie. He was awesome. But yeah, it's the family thing. It's well, first of all, they're the first family of Marvel, so that's obviously going to be the first thing. So I really like that. Superman's like, it wasn't bad. It was better than Man of Steel. I know some of y'all like Man of Steel. I'm sorry.
No, don't get out started on that. Don't get out started.
He knows. I mean,
I love my Muslim brother, but I'm like, bro, I can't go with you all the way over the cliff with this stuff, man.
No,
I can't go with you on this Snyder stuff. I can't.
No, I said Zack Snyder basically took Clark Kent's origin story and wiped his butt with it. That's how it is. But either way, that's my opinion. That and $2 maybe will get you a cup of coffee at Starbucks. But yeah, I really like the strong family values that they had in there. Osvaldo Lopez for $4.99 super chat. Thank you so very much for that. Let me hit you up.
Is this an out of season April Fool's joke?
I said that to the person at Starbucks the other day.
What?
They told me they were out of something. I said, "Is this out of season April Fool's joke?" And they just looked at me like I was nuts.
They didn't get it. See, you really are that asshole. You really are that guy. You are
proud of it.
You are the nightmare of every screenwriting room in Hollywood. Not only do you drive us crazy with plot points that nobody else cares about, you then take our various minor moments and then give them to Generation Z that doesn't understand them.
That's the whole point of being an asshole.
Correct.
Yeah. Osvaldo Lopez for $4.99 says this movie was not woke at all. That is correct. It was not woke. So now are we nitpicking about stuff that only hardcore comic fans will get? Come on, people.
Yeah, but that's how we start off with, oh, well, the villains went through the first 5 minutes. Yeah, because it's 3 years after they've been doing this. Whatever, fine. Be happy you got, and the Mole Man came back.
Yes.
Mole Man came back.
I will give them credit. I definitely will give them credit for it. You're always going to have, even with Star Wars, and you know who these people are. They had to nitpick and criticize every freaking thing down to the point of telling you, well, you can't really have explosions in space because there isn't oxygen. I said, we freaking know that. But it's cool to see on camera, isn't it? I mean, you're always, it doesn't matter what movie it is, you're always going to have that small percentage of the party poopers who will start bringing stuff up. Remember, and so in this scene, and when this part, I'm like, no, we're not that anal retentive, okay?
You know what my punishment is? Be warned of this, Tom. My punishment is for every, screenwriting asshole that's out there, right? Every story asshole is like, hey man, I'm gonna lock you in a room. You got 3 hours to come up with a script. Go. See what happens. See what you produce. I can produce a script in 3 hours. That'll be good. Let's see what you do.
It's kind of the thing where, it's, and this is something that I learned living in Hollywood for as long as I did. There's okay, do you want a story that can get like 80 to 90% of the people, or spend all this time focused on the 10% of the people who care about that nitpicky sort of thing? Well, there's a give and take that goes with that.
What happens is, this is, and I'm being serious now, with all jokes aside, one of the hardest things that people understand about the storytelling process in Hollywood is that, number one, it is 10,000 cooks who all have no idea what they're doing in the kitchen with you, right? Telling you what to do. So you're trying to make something with people that can't cook, yelling at you and telling you you're doing it wrong, right? So that's number one.
Mhm.
And then number two is that you're trying to make something work in that environment under extreme time pressures with millions of dollars at stake. And you have to decide, who am I going to satisfy? How much more time do I spend on this when there's always going to be some thread that someone can unravel in order for now we've got to get it into production because we've got this actor that's waiting for the script. And how much more time do I spend on this? And these are the practical things of this job that people don't, it's not you sitting around with the infinite amount of time trying to solve story problems. You are literally under the gun, surrounded by incompetent buffoons who are giving you orders and a demanding actor saying, where the hell's my script? Where's my line? Right? And you're trying to make it work every single day and not be fired. And most people can't survive that. Most screenwriters drop out because it's too difficult and chaotic a situation to manage as a human being.
It is it's crazy. It's crazy. Well, speaking of scripts, this is our last topic for the night. I want to talk about Kevin Feige, and I really want to get Cameron's opinion on
I
this.
get everybody's opinion. I've talked too much this is the whole episode.
Oh, no. We eventually need your opinion because last week on this show, we talked about how Kevin Feige did an interview and basically said that it was never, I'm paraphrasing, never in the cards for Kang to be the next big bad. It was always planned for Doom to be the next big bad. It's like, no, that's not the impression that we got. And he wouldn't even name Jonathan Majors, called him, said there were issues with the actor.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so you're going to throw him under the bus. You don't even have the decency to say this man's name. Okay. Then this comes out where basically Kevin Feige claimed that Captain America Brave New World's disappointing box office performance was because it was the first without Chris Evans. And I'm quoting Bo DeMayo here on X. Or instead of blaming it on the black actor, how about the script sucked, the story was phoned in, and you barely promoted it?
Well, that would mean them taking responsibility for the mistake, which is their responsibility, which no one in Hollywood survives by taking responsibility, right? It's all pass the buck. And in the case of people like, nice progressives like Mr. Feige and others that I've worked with who are powerful people that tell you how much they voted for Obama, right?
Mm-hmm.
The black man, as I told you the example, is the uppity one in the room. That's the easy one to point to, right? The minority is the uppity person. Their contempt for people outside their club, right, is so profound, especially when you start getting power, right? It's when you start getting power as an actor or as a talented writer or director, and then they can't treat you as a pissant that they see you as, it bubbles up inside of them and comes out at moments like this.
Yeah, it's just mind-blowing, especially considering how many people, myself included, were like, we didn't need Falcon as Captain America 2.0. He was fine
as Falcon.
Correct. And I wanted the show Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I'm like, okay, we're going to find out more about Falcon and how he got with the Avengers and more about his powers and everything. But they didn't do that. They didn't listen to the myriad of fans who said it online. They didn't listen to that at all for some reason. And we know why, what it is. They wanted to basically make him Captain America 2.0.
Yeah, and that's the noblesse oblige of we're giving a black man a chance to to step into the white man's shoes instead of letting him have his own character, which he already had.
People, he was beloved. I saw him and read him in the comics. And it's like, you don't do that. But yet again, this is another case of Hollywood setting up a black actor, saying they're doing it in the name of diversity and the mantle strategy or whatever. And then when it fails, they pin the failure on that black actor.
See what happens when you give these uppity people a chance? See what happens. We gave them a chance. Right? No, I've seen this all the time. I've seen this as a writer. On every TV show I've worked on, there's always the diversity slot, right? Where they it's always a black, usually black woman, but sometimes black man, who's in that slot. It's never another minority, right? And then that person is brought in and as the diversity slot, and they're treated with complete contempt. They're never given a script, or if they're given a script, no one even bothers to read it when they hand it in because they presume it's going to be garbage and they rewrite it anyway. Every one of those shows, I've tried to be the mentor to that writer because I know that they've been brought in and they're going to be shuffled out and they're not be hired again next season. And every time that's what happened. So I want to at least give them the tools that they can maybe survive this town, right? But that's the whole thing. This town, it goes right full circle to what we started at the beginning about this town's hidden liberal racism, right? It's profoundly disturbing. I am a conservative Muslim guy, and I go into every situation where I see someone who I see is disempowered, like my Native American assistant on one of my shows, who, I was like, I'm going to mentor her. I'm going to mentor her and help her advance, right? Because I'm like looking, because nobody did that for me. Nobody did that for me, right? And nobody else is doing it for her. And so that's coming from a place of shared human struggle, right? Not politics. It's just you empathize with someone who's not going to be given a chance, who's being underestimated because you've been that person.
Right. Tell you, that's why I bring Conrad onto the show every month, because it's to make sense of what Hollywood does. And to also, I'm not making this stuff up from the stuff that I've seen, in Hollywood. I'm not surprised at all. It's just, we knew this was going to happen. And this is what they do. They set up these black characters. They totally ignore pretty much the comic book lore for the most part, just to put it a face up there and say we did something for these people.
And Feige knows the lore. He doesn't have an excuse. He knows the lore. This is a choice.
So that was a choice that they made. They're just like, we're going to throw it under the bus. It didn't work because Chris Evans wasn't in it. Nah, it didn't work because you had a crap script, you had a crap story, half-baked, didn't work. And you wanted people to watch a Disney Plus show before they saw the movie. Nah, not working. Not working. But, well, what is working, of course, is all you people watching the show. So thank you so very much for being here. Remember, if you're watching this on the replay, hey, hashtag, replay crew. But before we close out, first of all, I want to go around and have everyone shout out their channels. A big thank you again to Kamran for being on the show. He is a dear friend, and please do consider subscribing to his Patreon. Kamran, you want to let people know what you got going on and what's coming up for you?
Yeah, no, I'm, I'll throw in a link to the Patreon. Thank you for mentioning it. That's the best way to get in touch with me. That's where I share sort of my thoughts and, on what's happening in Hollywood. And they are my thoughts. And I sometimes risk offending my own Patreon members because I will share my opinions, even if it's not what's popular, even if it makes people go, I don't like what you're saying, I'm going to leave. And if you want authenticity from a Hollywood perspective, from a minority who's worked in Hollywood, who's seen it all, and who has opinions that you may not always agree with, but they're authentic, come to the Patreon. It is a lively community there. It's also a chance if you are an aspiring writer or filmmaker or novelist, I'm a published novelist, as well as a filmmaker, you can come there and you get discounts on personal consulting sessions with me. And I've now done several dozen on the Patreon with people who came to me with scripts or short story, even full-length novels. And I've consulted with them, and every one of them has gone on to success. Some of the young screenwriters I've worked with have now gone on to win film festivals. One person came to me with a novel and took my advice. We reworked it completely. He published it, and it became a bestseller. And now he has an agent, right, that came from that. And so my consulting service through my Patreon is actually helping people in a real way. So, I'll throw the link in there. Come join me. It's this is pretty much the personality you're going to get. I'm pretty straightforward, but you can tell I'm trying to help people, and I'd like to help you if possible.
Oh, well, Kamran's definitely an amazing resource. So definitely, please do check out his Patreon. He's also you're on Paulie's channel on Fridays, right?
Yeah, Paulie's channel at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern every Friday. We have, a great thing. We just talk about the week's events, and if you aren't following Paulie's Latino Slant, That's going to become over time a very, very significant, not just YouTube channel. It's going to end up becoming a very significant force in entertainment because he is on the cutting edge of where the Latino community is going. And Hollywood knows the Latino community is the financial future. And so they're going to start catering more and more to that community, whether they like it or not, whether it fits their racism or not, they have to go there. And so if you are interested in seeing the direction Hollywood is going to go in, come to Latino Slant and see me on Fridays as well to talk about that.
Yep, and Paulie, I did see you pop in the chat, my friend.
I saw him in there too.
Telling me to not be mean to everybody.
He was telling them to not be mean to me. I can take it.
It's okay. It's okay. I forgive you. You're the white guy with the beard. I forgive you.
Hey,
I forgive you. You know, as Lincoln Osiris said, I see those little, beady white devil eyes, but I know what you've done for the last several hundred years, but I forgive you.
That's okay. If you knew I was a vampire, you wouldn't be talking to me.
Well, it's serious.
Well, Tom, what you got going on and where can people find you?
I might have a rocket launch to film live later tonight. I got to check the schedule. I think there might be Starlink, and I know I got to check coming up. There's another one come up in a big day, another crew launch.
Not in the middle of Manhattan, I'm assuming.
No. I'm in Florida. I'm in where the nice weather is.
Okay.
For launches, anyway.
And really big flying cockroaches.
Well, you know what?
Yeah.
It tastes good. They're like chicken.
Oh, Jesus
Christ. Cockroaches and
Sorry,
what else?
Yeah, can't
lizards. That's what Professor X likes to catch.
Homie doesn't play that.
But,
Does he eat them or just play with them until they die?
Play with them until they die.
And I got one of these I swing around.
It was kind of bad.
My mom had a cat that did that.
Yeah, he does. He leaves murder presents. Notice he's very well behaved tonight. See what one shot of water will do?
Because he's scheming. He's plotting.
Oh, you did do the water thing?
With the water? Oh, he's pissed.
Yeah.
Did you squirt him? Wait, squirting?
Yeah.
What does that do with cats?
Yeah, cats do not like water on their person. So usually when they're being really unruly, like when you tried everything, diversion, all of that stuff. So what he'd like to do is basically try to nip my arm to say, hey mom, get off the stream. No, we're not going to be doing that while I'm on the stream. So yeah. After the catnip and the treats didn't work, we had to go to the corrective action. Only to do it one time.
Wow, he learned.
Yeah.
That's the one time. Good.
Yeah, that's not something you don't really like to overuse.
No, but he's plotting revenge. He's not going to forget.
I mean,
he's gonna
he's thinking about what 3 lizards he's going to leave for me to step on.
He's gonna up it and bring a roach.
Yeah, that's just.
I can't. Oh, I can't.
I'm so glad for Islamic food laws that prohibit eating insects. So glad for that. I'm so glad.
I won't eat them either, to tell you the truth.
I wouldn't eat them either. That's just. Oh.
Erica, what you got going on, my dear?
Just stream surfing and planning this Corpse Bride birthday party that I'm probably gonna vlog a little bit of it. And I know I'll get the footage, and then God knows when I'll put it together and put a video on the freaking channel.
Well, what was I gonna say? Okay, what day is it?
It's
Tuesday. I always have to say what day it is.
I'm like, it's Wednesday here.
Yeah, I know.
You are with my fellow Muslims, surrounded by them. There's good food there. There's a lot of good food there.
I'm always down for some good food. Yeah, always down for some good food.
I love me good food.
On Thursday at 7 p.m., I'm going to be streaming live from Universal Orlando, the Studios Park. They're starting to put up the stuff for Halloween Horror Night. So yet again, we get to document all the scare zones and stuff being put together. We are going to, of course, be checking out the merch, checking out the special Amity Island display they've got up. with like props from the Jaws attraction when it was there. Other cool stuff that's in there as well. We'll go take pictures with the fake shark they've got hanging up over there as well. And we will be seeing the Cinesational water and projection and drone show also that night. And we'll probably close things out by going to the Butterbeer Bar over on City Walk. So go and check that.
Butterbeer Bar.
Yeah. They put it in
That's a
City
thing?
Walk. Yeah, you go there and they have all the
I didn't
butterbeer
know that.
here on. It's new.
You're doing
Next-
that tomorrow
I'm
night?
gonna have to see that.
I'm gonna do that Thursday.
Thursday?
Yeah, Thursday 7.
I don't know if we'll be back.
Halloween in the summer makes it. Mr. Milquetoast, they have to prepare.
Butterbeer.
Halloween Horror Night starts August 29th, I believe. 29th or 27th. Either way, it's huge. So it's going to be fun. We're going to go and check that out. And of course, Saturday, 12 noon, Resort Recon Live podcast. Keep you up with the theme park news. More than likely going to be talking about tricks to keep cool in the heat.
Oh, okay.
At the theme parks.
Which will be very helpful to at least two of your fellow, Florida and Middle East.
Yes, we do things differently for a reason. Heat stroke is not a joke, so we're going to be talking about that, and of course, catching you up with all the stuff that's going on with Halloween Horror Nights, especially since they officially announced a haunted house for 5 Nights at Freddy's.
Oh,
they're actually going to do that.
Didn't they announce a wrestling house too today?
Which one?
A wrestling house?
Yeah, a wrestling house, which I was like, I don't really care about that one. 5 Nights at Freddy's, that one's going to be really busy. I'm just saying.
Raph was excited about the wrestling one, but he likes wrestling, so
yeah, wrestling fans are going to like it. I've heard wrestling fans are really, really going to like that. So that's going to be fun. And so make sure you subscribe to all these amazing people on the panel. I've got to update the description box because I got kind of behind today. Thanks so much for all the chat, all the love, all the super chats, all of that. Are you waking up now? Waking up? I gave you plenty of catnip.
It was perfect. He's listening. He's perfectly timed. You knew exactly when it's over.
He does.
Yeah,
he does.
His body clock is like
they understand.
He's on that streaming body clock.
He is.
Cats understand. They pretend to not understand us. They understand English. They absolutely do.
As soon as I shut this down and I go in the kitchen, he'll follow me until I sit down on the floor. And then he just wants to sit on me. So yeah, it's like, Mom, get done. All right, folks, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for supporting the Spice Lounge show. It's just always a blessing to be able to do this show, hang out with my friends and talk shop. We don't all have to agree. That's okay. Not an echo chamber. We
have good hearts here, which is I've been on channels where the people are people that I would not want to actually hang out with after we shut the screen off. These are all people I'd like to hang out with. So yes.
I love it. I love you guys too. So we're gonna go. Yeah, he's gonna jump up. So anyway, good night, everyone. Take care. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Later.
All right, everyone. Let's tidy things up.
Autobots, start your engines!
Not under the rug.
We'll keep singing without fail, otherwise we'd spoil it.
Ready, Prime? Let's roll.
Hosing down the garbage pail and scrubbing up the toilet. Ooh.
That's all, folks.
You're still here. It's over. Go home.